Off, we're back under green here at the half mile, and he does get a good jump, and it looks like he'll hold the position over Davis as they head into turn number 1. Time winding down, and Cash Gralla is around, and Dylan Bassett is involved in turn 2, and slight contact there for Gralla, or is it worse? Yeah, he's got quite a bit of damage on the back end there.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good lick. You know, these cars are actually a fiberglass body. So
take a look and see if we can tell what happened to Gralla. You can see the 40 car of Kyle Benjamin gets loose, collects Gralla and Dylan Bassett in the 44. Let's take one more look, Frank.
Yeah, we need another angle right there to see. Okay, here we are going into the corner. Okay, the 04 Ronnie Bassett helped Kyle Benjamin a little bit to get loose right there. And then that caused everybody else to get piled up.
Way to go in the 04. Here they come down the backstretch. The leaders are side by side. Here comes Bassett. Oh, he gets into Gilliland. And Spencer Davis hard into the outside wall. And Ronnie Bassett Jr. is going to go to victory lane at New Smyrna Speedway.
What an incredible finish. Now, we got to hope that Spencer Davis is okay up there in turn 4. That was an incredibly hard lick.
Wow, there is the 41 car, a mess out of turn number 4. But Ronnie Bassett Jr. has worked his way through the field, nosed into the 16 in the final lap. Take a look at the move, Frank.
Now you see right here, Todd Gilliland has drove in so hard, he gives up the bottom of the racetrack. Ronnie Bassett Jr. probably doesn't do a lot wrong right there. I mean, he gets in over his head a little bit, but there is room because of what Todd Gilliland gave him the bottom. You can see he's way up off the bottom of the racetrack right here.
And again, Ronnie Bassett was not going to wave on the opportunity. He put the 04 in there, but boy, that's a hard.
But their high bank dirt half miles. Lebanon Valley Speedway is an incredibly fast.
Whoa, off the backstretch. Who was that?
Looked like a plane.
Caution is out. We lost somebody off the backstretch there, off of turn 3. We know there's no walls here, but there's a steep embankment down the back. There's Cabry on the left, and he gets up. He's on the high side already, and the car goes straight. Oh, man.
Oh, he blew it right front. Looks like the same thing that happened to Trey Hutchins.
Wow, all 4 tires off.
Race back. So that, again, is a huge help for the race leader. And Dominique in that 30, fighting it out with Haley, and there she goes. Around goes Dominique, who's done a great job here this afternoon, running in the top 5 basically all day, and she's fought hard to stay there. The 20-year-old now finds her number 30, backed into the wall. Inside grooves today, and this time the outside fighting with Haley. You see the car just broke loose on her.
Yeah, she's on the brake right there. A little bit too much rear brake in the car. She's carrying a little too much speed into the corner and just loses it on her own. Justin Haley didn't do anything wrong on the bottom. It's just unfortunate. She's trying to get all she can late in the race.
It was really hard racing with around 20 laps to go, and it just didn't work out for Dominique here today.
No, it unfortunately did not. And that replay there, it might have looked like they were together, but you saw the first replay. There was air between them.
That's what they do. Coming to the green. Oh, and they spin it up. Benjamin goes around into Haley. Oh, what an absolute disaster for Kyle Benjamin, who is dominated here today. And with almost just 10 laps remaining, his car is destroyed, and so are his chances of a win here today. The race it has been so clean. Oh, and he's not happy with the 44.
And I think that's who was behind Kyle Benjamin. I'm sure it was. That's who was behind Kyle Benjamin on that restart
Dylan
right
Bassett,
there.
And I'm not so sure Dylan's all that happy either.
So I wonder whether Dylan had possibly gotten into the back trying to push Kyle Benjamin. With, a lot of guys try to do on a restart. You try to push that outside here. You can see he's tight up on the back of him, and he's underneath him pretty hard.
Yeah, he is.
It's pretty hard underneath him. And then finishes him off right there for sure.
That's why you stay to the end, folks. It looks like one person run off and win the thing.
Well, and the start, no matter what you're thinking behind the leader, is on the leader. And it's up to Kyle to decide when he wants to go. And Bassett was certainly into him before Benjamin decided to go.
Yeah, and when you look at those lines right there on the restart lines out there, it looked to me that was exactly what was going on. Kyle Benjamin didn't want to go yet, but Dylan Bassett said, no, you're going to go, and you're going to go now.
Let's hear from Kyle. Derek's caught up with him.
He stayed locked up to me until he wrecked us going off in the corner. I don't know what it is about him. The kid's an idiot. Doesn't need to be here. His whole family, really. And it goes way back. He's always driven like that, always will drive like that. There's nothing.
Yeah, going down into turn 1.
Yeah, you see him right there on the outside there, Dave. It was hard. I just looked down there as it was going on, and he got a little sideways. Not sure whether somebody made contact with him first or whether you're really.
Two, Gregson cannot move by on the outside, but stays with him. Here comes Gilliland. Oh, and trouble in the back. There is Hunter Bays going around.
We got a multi-car crash.
Bunch of cars involved there. You see Holloman, the 49, the pole sitter. Squeaking through is Ronnie Bassett. You see J.A. Jr. in the 42. Eddie McDonald got it woed down, it looks like, and Harrison Burton taking evasive action as well. And Kyle Benjamin's 40 is involved again. Damage on that car.
The only good news is I do not see any oil or water coming out of anybody's cars.
Down, they want to get as much green flag as they can. Look to the right. Dipple gets into Bays.
Wow, and almost sent Bays into Justin Haley in the 5. That would have taken all 4 H. Scott cars.
My goodness. You see down in the grass go Grant Quinlan and Allie Kern and Dominique Van Wieringen.
This will be an interesting team meeting. You see the 38. I mean, the 1300 Bays checks up a little bit early possibly, but Tyler Dipple did not use nearly enough brake to slow his car down to avoid that collision.
Overcooked it, and it's a big mess. Now, the previous caution was for Reed Lanford.
Right here.
See what happened to the Rev Racing driver right here, bottom of your screen.
Oh, he gets hooked in the right rear corner. Tyler Dipple hooked him in the right rear corner.
Oh, and he hits driver's side right before that opening there. That's never a good feeling. Here's another look.
And watch him right here. Can't see much right there, but you could see the other replay.
It doesn't mean as much, or for tracks like flat like this where it doesn't mean as much.
Oh, she's in trouble, Parker, right there. Smoke from the 30, hard into the wall, and she collects Reed Wilson as well. Obviously, fluids being put down there, and Wilson lost complete control of his car, but that car started smoking as she was heading into the corner.
Yeah, it definitely could have been some sort of engine failure there. The oil would get on the front tires in the rear, and she locked them up and went in the wall hard. Track, there's nothing to take away the speed. Yeah, as you see, she comes down here in the braking zone. It looks like some sort of engine failure. Oil gets on the front tires. She's got no grip. She's just a passenger that time. Reed Wilson gets in the oil, spins up into her, and at this point, she's just got the brake locked, hoping the car comes to a stop eventually. And definitely, as I said before, there's just not a lot of banking to take that speed away, so this is a very vicious hit on the side. That can be really hard on your ribs. I can tell you as a driver, that's sometimes one of the harder hits just because it's all on one side of your body up against the side of the seat.
Trans Am Series, so 2 different guys that are trying to move their way up. Some guys are doing it with running road courses.
Oh, 3 wide, Frank, through the carousel, and that did not work.
That will never work, Dave.
Alex Shuddy gets into the back of John Holloman there in the pink and black 49, and they both spin.
Away. So if they get going and they get fired up, there's nobody behind them right here. NASCAR is watching the situation. As long as they get fired up and get going, we'll stay green.
You saw Shuddy is racing Cabry right here. Cabry puts the nose of the 2 inside. They get 2 wide, maybe a little bit of contact there, and then Shuddy gets into Holloman and they spin.
Yeah, it looks like Shuddy was actually getting moved up the racetrack just a little bit there, and I think he didn't expect Holloman to be going quite that slow. Great job on the restart. On the initial start, Justin Haley did not get a good start right there. This racetrack, we got
trouble behind him, Frank. Look, it was Hunter Bays in the 13 at the right side of the screen there. We saw just briefly get turned around, and wow, he's collected the 1 car of Spencer Davis and the 42 of Enrique Baca.
Hunter looked like he was trying to get to the bottom right there, entering turn 3, Dave. I'm not sure whether he made slight contact with Spencer Davis or not. It's hard to say.
Right
really
there.
Close.
Yep, it is very, very tight there. Spinning into turn 3 as they were trying to complete the first lap. In fact, I've been watching Gregson try to hold off Little. Now Little's going to work down to the inside. Gregson is in the wall. Pounds the wall coming out of turn 4. And that's going to bring out the caution right in front of us, Parker.
Yeah, definitely a right front issue once again. We saw where he was running as well up high, but I just have to wonder, with as little practice as these guys had and as little rubber was on the racetrack when we started this race, these tires just got abused a little bit there, and for some of these drivers a little bit inexperienced.
This right out of turn 4 straight up to the wall. You called it.
Oh, very hard hit, and that's thankfully Dover has put that safer barrier there out of the turn that wasn't there earlier this year. They extended it, and that's one thing that really helped him have a lot softer hit there, because that's the worst place. You're in the throttle, fully in the throttle at that time, coming out of the corner, and to have the right front fail on you, it's a very helpless feeling.
Bottom of the racetrack, so they continue under green, coming to the white flag now for Kyle Benjamin.
Eddie McDonald out of shape there. Looks like Ruben Garcia got him off turn 4, and we've got a wreck on the front stretch, Dave.
Now, the leaders have taken the white flag, so as they head down the backstretch, if this doesn't get cleaned up to NASCAR's satisfaction, they'll have to throw the caution, but they chase down the backstretch now. Benjamin still with the advantage over Little, and the caution is going to come out. This is what brought the caution out at the end.
Yeah, you're going to see Ruben Garcia just gets into the left rear as he's trying to make a move on Eddie McDonald. Eddie McDonald gets forced up the racetrack, hits the outside wall. Ali Kern comes up on him, gets moved to the inside, and Chad Fincham had nowhere to go there as Ali Kern came down the racetrack in front of him. Just one of those instances where there was a lot of cars going for the same real estate and a bit of a checkup off of turn 4 where they're all trying to stay hard on the gas to get the best finish possible.
Garcia trying to move through on that low line. Man, McDonald takes a flush hit right there. Thanks again for that safer barrier that was added. Looks like Kern was just trying to avoid, really, Parker.
Yeah, and that can happen as you're coming down the racetrack there and coming off turn 4, the car is really light, and as she tried to turn really hard down the racetrack, the car just got away from her.